YouTube? It's Space 2K here, and today I'm going to be discussing Kemba Walker and the Charlotte Hornets, pretty much how they fell apart, and all the wrong things that the Hornets have done this entire offseason. It's a lot of fun, but we'll get to it. And yeah, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, comment, and like the video too. So yeah, let's get it. So the reason that I'm actually recording this right now, this video, is pretty much because I literally just read a report about Kemba Walker about 12 hours ago. And it leaked obviously. So apparently Kemba Walker was literally offered $60 million less than the contract that he could have gotten this offseason, which is the max. He was eligible for the max, but he was offered $60 million less. That is insane, bro. That is insane. How could you underball him that much? You know, we were predicting it was around 30 million less, but 60, that's double the amount. Like, that is insane. That is so much money. But yeah, I mean, that's really the spark for this video. But this is not like the main reason. Like, this entire video isn't based on just the contract that they offered Kemba. It is the entire offseason, this entire mess that they've created. So yeah, let's go and break it down. So I don't want to spend too much time on this because this didn't technically happen during the off season, and I do want to, obviously focus on their awful off season. But I think I have to talk about this at least in a brief way because it obviously led to this awful off season. So pretty much Kemba Walker, $60 million pay cut, and you're the Hornets front office. You must have known that he was going to leave. There is absolutely no way that you actually thought that he was going to stay. And if you did, if the front office of the Charlotte Hornets actually thought he was going to stay, then that really just shows how bad of a front office you are and how terrible this franchise is being run. It really does. It really does. And the main point here is, if you knew he was going to leave, then why didn't you trade him during the season? Why didn't you trade him before the trade deadline to a contender that needed a guard or just a upgrade in the guard spot? I really don't know. Like, maybe the Raptors thought that Kyle Lowry might, choke, and they could take a chance on Kemba Walker for a few picks with Kyle Lowry. Like, I really don't know, but that would have been obviously an upgrade because you get some picks in return. There's a change. Like, you don't just lose him for nothing. And that is exactly what they did. They lost him for nothing. Or, if you count Terry Rozier, but we'll get to that later. It's really just sad, honestly, how this franchise is being run because, like I said, if you knew that he was going to leave, then why wouldn't you just trade him and get the assets back for that? And if, like I said, if you actually thought he was going to take that $60 million pay cut, then that just shows how bad this front office is. But yeah, let's move on to the next thing. So this is the part in the video where I'm gonna get a lot more subjective, and a lot of people might actually disagree with me here, but I'll go ahead and give my reasonings for it. So yeah, during draft night, they ended up picking up PJ Washington Jr. out of Kentucky in the 12th pick in the first round. And by the way, I'm not going to get into the second round and all of that, the two-way contracts. I'm not going to go over all the small things. I'm going to get to the big things and their mistakes there. Like I said, this is very disagreeable. So yeah, I don't even know if that's a word, but we'll just use it anyways. Anyways, though, PJ Washington Jr., my real problem here is not actually drafting him. I believe that if you have your eyes set on a player, you should draft him because you believe that he's gonna work out. So do it. You know what I mean? We don't actually know what players will be the best players out of this draft class. They could be in the second round for all we know. But at the end of the day, if you have your eyes set on a player, draft him. That's really just my opinion. And they obviously wanted to draft him, but my problem here is not him, like, actually picking him. My problem is you could have literally traded back for more assets, more picks, or another player, young player. I really don't care, just something. You could have traded back for to still get PJ Washington and other things. So why didn't you do it? If you really think about it, you got 13 Miami Heat. They got Tyler Hero. We all know that they weren't about to pick a big man, obviously, And then after that you got the Celtics. Now that's more arguable. They were definitely looking for a big man, I think. But they ended up picking up Romeo Langford, and I think they would have probably picked up Goga Bitadze before PJ Washington, in my opinion. I really do, because Goga is an actual center. PJ can play the center, but he's not a natural center. And then Goga obviously is a natural center, so they needed a center at that point. They didn't actually have any scanner on the team, so that's just my opinion. And then after that, you got 15. You got the Pistons. The Pistons were not in need of a big man either. Like I said, you could have traded back, so why didn't you do it? For some reason, the Hornets just don't like getting, good trades, and it's very weird. But yeah, other than that, let's actually move on to the worst. Well, not the worst thing, but one of the bad things: Terry Rozier. So, are we really about to just base an entire player's portfolio off of 3 series in the playoffs? Because if we really think about it, that is pretty much when Terry Rozier's value just skyrocketed. Was in that playoff series in 2018, not series, but the entire playoffs. It skyrocketed. He went from a backup piece to a potential starting PG. And it's crazy to me that he's really getting paid $58 million 3 years. That's $19 million per year for Terry Rozier. And the Charlotte Hornets really did that. They really did that. That is crazy to me. And that shows you that Terry Rozier actually had interest around the league. And I have a suspicion that the Phoenix Suns were very, very interested in him. And they obviously got Ricky Rubio, but I think they were very interested in Terry Rozier, so that is why the Hornets had to outbid them. I really do think that's what happened. And if it is, bro, that is just sad, to be honest with you. It really is. But yeah, other than that, man, I don't have much else to say. Terry Rozier for almost $60 million, which is what Kemba Walker literally lost out on because of the Hornets. That's crazy to me. That really is crazy to me. But their franchise piece is Terry Rozier. Honestly, that is literally their best player right there. And I feel sad for you Hornets fans out there. I'm not trying to trash the Hornets or anything. I'm only trashing their front office because they deserve blame for this. They really do. So I could literally run down an entire list of things that the Charlotte Hornets front office has messed up on in the past, but I'm not gonna get to that. I only want to talk about this off season, like I said before, and only the big things as well, because the small things I could nitpick all of them, but that's just really not all that important. I really just wanted to talk about obviously their draft night decision with PJ Washington, which is more arguable, and then you also got Kemba Walker, which is just probably the worst thing that they did, and then you got Terry Rozier, which is definitely the second worst thing this entire offseason. They've just been taking a whole bunch of L's right now. But yeah, that is pretty much it for the video. I really just wanted to talk about that. Some things that they did mess up on that I will briefly go over from the past is drafting Michael Kidd Gilchrist. It's actually pretty funny. They had bad luck in that draft class because they could have gotten Anthony Davis if the lottery was good for them. But even in the lottery, they can't win. That's tough, man. That's really tough. And then drafting Cody Zeller. I could run down the list. I'm not gonna go through everything, but that's just a few things right there that they obviously messed up on. And it's sad. It's sad. They had Kemba Walker, which they obviously hit that draft pick, but they had him this entire time. His pretty much his entire career up until now, and they weren't able to do anything with him. That's just really sad for him. And we should highlight how bad this front office is. So maybe they'll get kicked out or something. I don't know. Like somebody gets fired and they get a new GM or something. I really don't know. How much Michael Jordan has to do with the decisions they make and all of that. But somebody needs to get fired, and it needs to happen quickly. Other than that, though, make sure you subscribe, like the video, and comment as well if you enjoyed it or if you haven't done already. And I'll see y'all boys out.